Hi there, welcome back to Being Your Ray. I think this will be my 50th episode, or at least close to that number. And I just wanted to talk about how I feel about that because I did not think I will go beyond 2 episodes, 7 episodes, 10 episodes, maybe. But yeah, I did make it to the 50th one. No matter how imperfect, unprepared, and clueless and doubtful I was, I'm just glad I kept this promise to myself. I did not have a goal in my mind that 100 videos challenge and 90 videos challenge. Sorry, 190 में ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है. Anyway, you get it, 75, something like that. I just wanted to try it out as an experiment, as a hobby, as something that will help me get to know myself better, and mainly as something that will help me connect with people as well. So yeah, all of those things combined together. So many things that had stopped me get started, and I always had this idea at the back of my mind that I would like to have a YouTube channel someday. And now I am at my 50th episode. So I want to take a moment to acknowledge that and, yeah, be grateful for the fact that I did not let my worst, my worst case scenarios to take away the good that this could have offered to me and to really give it a chance. I also feel like the one good thing is that no one's listening to me right now, so there's no hate that I need to deal with or something that can stop me in that sense. In that sense, sorry. So yeah, just looking at how those things have helped me and yeah, there's not been a single day where I've forced myself to record an audio. I also did not have like a specific schedule for it in the place. There were days when I recorded 2 to 3 episodes in a day, and then there were days that I had 3 to 4 days of gap before I started with the next one. And I really went with the flow with this one. And I genuinely enjoyed it because I'd had no pressure of it. It wasn't like I have to someone has told me to do this, or I am a slave to the algorithm, or I'm doing this out of some ulterior motive, all of those things. When I took off all that pressure and tried to make something for the joy of it, it really hit different. And yeah, I know now that I can keep going. Although I feel like these 50 episodes are all that I had to share, and I also feel like, will I go out of ideas to share now? Even though most of what I've shared is pretty much similar to on the lines of spirituality, of feeling stuck and trying to move ahead with life, and creativity and starting your own stuff and uniqueness and owning to your individuality and all of that. The themes are quite similar, but still, every episode will have some kind of nuance that I hope makes it worth your time. And even if it doesn't, there are some things in life you do just to experience how it feels to be there and to expose yourself to different possibilities. So it is a win for me. I don't give myself credit for anything that I do. And that eats me up at times because I'm very critical of what I do and where I am. But this has been nice. It has been nice to detach myself from any kind of sense of achievement and trying to prove something. This was mainly A win in the sense that I could be open, I could be honest, I could be myself. I didn't do it for money, I didn't do it for views, I didn't do it for because everyone's doing it. I didn't do it, yeah, for any of those reasons. It was purely out of my curiosity and my willingness to try this thing out. I'm glad that it worked out. I think I've created these videos in the past 2, 3 months itself, but by the time you'll be watching it, it will be a year of me posting these videos because, as I said, I did not want the pressure of algorithm and consistency wala cheese to eat me up alive. So I had decided to post only once a week and have that in store because I'll have my college starting in a month or so. And I did not know how would that pan out and if I'll be able to manage two things at once and how that would look like. So yeah, this 50th video is being recorded on, let me check, Saturday 24th May. And by the time you'll watch this, it would have been, yeah, like a year of me creating these videos. Like by the time it reaches to you, it would be nice to see what has happened at that point, if anyone at all relates to it. If 1 year down the line, I am still excited about making these. If nothing happens and it still stays the same, and no one has watched a single video of mine except watched, yeah, listened to a single audio of mine except for my friends. And what else? What else could have happened? There are many, many things. And I want to stay open to those possibilities. I don't want my mind to decide it for myself. So yeah, and I'm happy with all of them. Like worst case scenario, no one watches it. Case scenario right now is I have enjoyed this process and that itself is enough for me to stick to it. And yeah, it's been wonderful. Like genuinely a fear of mine that I have been able to overcome. I still know that I take a lot of pauses, and that is something I need to work upon. I'm so sorry as well. I mentioned that I will be doing audios where I'll read out directly from my journal entries, but I feel for the most part, I just like to take up my recorder and get started because when you go on writing you need to get more structured and then record it and then edit it, so it kind of becomes a tedious process. But I wanted to make things as easy as possible so that I don't have any excuse to skip recording an idea or a thought that I have. And of course, it comes at an expense of not being as articulate with your thoughts. And I totally get that risk that I'm taking. But yeah, we'll find a way to see how it suits my needs and to the ones who are listening to this, in case you are, and come to a middle ground. But it has been nice. I am genuinely excited to see how I take this thing forward, how serious I get about it, or if I learn something different about myself and continue with that. Or, best case scenario, I come across a set of people who are like my replicas and keep them close to me, find a way to support each other in our spiritual journeys and grow together. That would be like a dream. But even if that does not happen, I just want to tell Ria in the future that I'm happy you did not give up, that you did not let your mind come in the way for once. you gave yourself the chance to try. It doesn't matter if you fail, but at least you've given it a try. I also read this, what do we call, line the other day, which was something related to successful people have seen more failures than someone who failed for once has. Like, wait, if one person who seems like a success to you, they've been through multiple failures to get through that one place, and I know it is like overdone at this point, but वही है, जब तुम्हें सक्सेस मिल जाती है तभी people don't get the gravity of how much you had to pull yourself out of your shell and try a different thing out and keep going when no one's listening to you, when nothing's working out, when you have no idea, and when you are treading a completely different path. So, yeah, also this Instagram post that one of my friends shared with me on WhatsApp regarding this guy who had tried 13 different careers because he wanted to earn money to be able to retire her mom, who had been working 15 hours a day for I don't know how many years, but they lived in a rented apartment. He hardly had any resources to shoot the videos, and it was just like he would paste some papers on his bathroom wall and record his videos that way. And yeah, of course, as a beginner, you don't feel comfortable doing it. And he mentioned how after trying everything, he left his job. I think his last job was working as a gym trainer. And uske baad he also left his college. Yeah. Dropped out या क्या मुझे याद नहीं exactly, but yeah, he left his college also and he thought I'll fully focus on content creation. And that's the time when his followers actually decreased. It went from 11,000 followers to 8,000, and he felt he could have given up at that point and been like, okay, I have to take up another job and forget about this. But he promised himself that he'll give it another 6 months, himself and to God. And yeah, those 6 months changed everything. He was able to build a good following, teach others to on how to grow on Instagram, and yeah, built this wonderful future for himself, retired his mom, the one dream that he had. And during that phase, also, his mom lost respect for him or something on those lines because he was trying a lot of things and nothing was like as successful and stuff. So, yeah, I just feel like we take failure so seriously, and why are we so afraid to fail? मतलब क्या ही हो जाएगा? Why don't we look at it as a learning experience and be okay with it? So, yeah, I just feel more and more people need to be comfortable with failure at this point because that is causing more suppression and anger than any other reason. I feel it's only us holding ourselves back, and that includes me as well. I have been that person, and sometimes that creeps into my life as well. But again, it's about asking yourself, क्या ही हो जाएगा? मतलब इतना क्या डर रहे फेलियर से कि उसको ही जीतने दे रहे? कितना जीतने दोगे? कब तक जीतने दोगे? तुम्हारी लाइफ रूल कर रहा है वो चीज़। So at some point, it has to be dealt ऐसे आमने सामने, and yeah, someone has to come up and be like, I'm not afraid of you, Mr. Failure. You can come up with as many tactics as you want. I will still show up another day and still keep trying. So yeah, when we stop ourselves because of failure, we are also stopping ourselves from trying. And I don't think that's healthy for anyone. As long as you enjoy, as long as you have fun along the way, I don't think there's any reason to not try things out and cover it up in the name of I'm not good at it or there's a possibility I would fail. So what? So what if you fail? You try something new. So what if you fail again? You try something new. That's how you keep going. There's this one story, I don't remember where I read it, but it was about this person who was told that there's some money under a rock that he needs to find. एंड ही वाज सेंट टू दिस प्लेस जहाँ पर काफ़ी सारे पत्थर थे और उसमें से कोई एक पत्थर था जिसके नीचे पैसे रखे थे। सो ऑल ही हैड टू डू वाज टू चेक बिलो दैट रॉक एंड लाइक हर एक रॉक के नीचे जाके उसको देखना था कि पैसे किस में रखे हैं। सो दैट वाज हिज जॉब। नाउ ही गोज़, पहली बार पहले पत्थर पे देखा, नहीं मिला, दूसरे पत्थर पे देखा, नहीं मिला पैसा, तीसरे पत्थर पे देखा, नहीं मिला पैसा, चौथे पे देखा, नहीं मिला। So that's how he kept on going and discovering. फिर एक पत्थर के पीछे नीचे उसको मिल गए पैसे एंड पै पै क्या बोल रही थी मैं एनीवे एक पत्थर के नीचे उसको फाइनली मिल गए। सो दैट इज हाउ दैट स्टोरी इज रिलेटेड टू आवर लाइफ कि कहीं पे तो तुमको पैसे मिल जाएंगे ना, पर अगर तुमने पत्थर उठाया ही नहीं है तो तुमको कहाँ से वो पैसे मिलने वाले हैं। सो अनलेस यू डोंट try that thing out, how will you discover the gold or the money? So yeah, success is like that money wala cheese and failure is just an attempt. This was my attempt, नहीं मिला तो तुम छोड़ थोड़ी दोगे, तुम ये थोड़ी करोगे कि नहीं यार पैसे है ही नहीं, अभी रहने देते हैं। झूठ बोला होगा उस इंसान ने जो भी है कि पैसे मिल जाएंगे, ढूंढ लो पत्थर के नीचे। यू वोंट स्टॉप एट, स्पेशली इफ ओके एग्जांपल, पैसे तुम्हें समझो बोला है कि देयर इज लाइक $1 million बिलो वन ऑफ द स्टोन्स, विल यू स्टॉप, लाइक विल यू सीरियसली स्टॉप? तुम नहीं रुकने वाले। यू विल जस्ट बी लाइक दिस विल save like the biggest problem in my life. I am going to look behind every stone and I am going to try to find it. तो वही है, सक्सेस तो ट्राई करके मिलेगी ना, बिना ट्राई किए कौन सा मिलने वाला है। अगर तुमने डिस्कवर करने की कोशिश ही नहीं की कि पत्थर के नीचे क्या है या फिर पत्थर उठाया ही नहीं है, तो तुम्हें नीचे दिखेगा कहाँ से कि पैसे या सक्सेस है भी कि नहीं। दिस ऑल्सो साउंड सो एंटी मी, मैंने सक्सेस को पैसे से रिलेट कर दिया, नहीं, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट इज हाउ पीपल गेट द एग्जाम्पल एंड आई एम नॉट सेइंग माई ऑडियंस इज लाइक दैट, आई एम जस्ट, oh God, to talk about something and not sound like you're trying to offend someone is a different skill, and I don't think I have mastered it. But please remember, none of my audios will ever be about demeaning someone, even if that is how it sounds. It is not what I'm intending to. Hopefully, you understand that. But yeah, for me, success is unbounded happiness that is not transient, that stays lifetime. So yeah, that happiness, I will do my best to attain that in the present moment, और मैं करती रहूँगी ट्राई, मैं करती रहूँगी, आई विल नॉट स्टॉप अनलेस आई फील दैट इन द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, क्योंकि अगर मैंने ट्राई करना ही छोड़ दिया तो जो है वैसी ही रहूँगी मैं, कुछ चेंज नहीं आएगा। और जो जैसी हूँ, जैसे जी रही हूँ, उसमें अगर मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है, तो वैसे जीकर मतलब भी नहीं है। So yeah, that is why I'll keep on trying. I'll keep on searching. Searching is the wrong word because it feels like you are waiting for the like the destination, but there's this concept in spirituality that everything is perfect in this moment. It is just you who hasn't recognized that. तो तुम्हें अपनी abilities और powers इतनी अच्छी करनी है कि तुम्हें इसी मोमेंट में वो परफेक्शन दिख सके और तुम उसको पूरी तरह से जी पाओ. And for that you don't have to मतलब work hard and things like that. You just have to detach yourself from things that you are not. So basically, it is just coming back to your true nature. It is not about कैसे समझाऊँ मतलब जो चीज़ें तुम्हारे लिए वर्क नहीं कर रही है ना उसको बस डिलीट करना है डिलीट 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 एंड इवेंचुअली यू विल come back to your center, your true nature, and you will realize the perfection that is present right here, right now. जो तुमने इतना कवर अप कर दिया था भूसे से. Bhusa can be societal conditioning and stuff like that. बट या वो चीज़ें करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. तुम्हें बस भूसा हटाना है. भूसा ही बोलते हैं ना बकवास चीज़ को. आई एम सॉरी. आई हैव लिटरली लाइक या आई शुड हैव रिटन दिस लाइक दिस इज़ मी विथ एवरी ऑडियो. ये मैं मुझे लिख लेना चाहिए था. आर्टिकुलेट नहीं कर पा रही. बट ठीक है समझ लो तो वाह वाह वाह. नहीं समझा तो मैं कोशिश करूँगी कि मैं आई डू बेटर एट इट. But yeah, this is the most Hindi that I've said in all the audios, and I love it. I wish I was more proficient at it. But ठीक है, कोई नहीं, सीख लेंगे, सब सीख लेंगे. But yeah, मोटा मोटा मुझे यही बताना था कि फेलियर कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. दुनिया तबाह नहीं हो जाएगी. तुम नहीं तबाह हो जाओगे. पर अगर तुमने ट्राई नहीं किया तो शायद तुम इतनी बड़ी पॉसिबिलिटी को जीने से गवा दोगे. सो आई डोंट वांट दैट फॉर यू. आई वांट फॉर यू टू लिव योर बेस्ट लाइफ, एंड फॉर दैट यू विल हैव टू get rid of your fears, get rid of your conditioning, get rid of everything that is not you, that does not define you. और फिर तुम्हें अपने आप वो सब मिल जाएगा जो तुमने चाहा था. उससे ज़्यादा मिलेगा. इनफैक्ट आई होप all of you get to witness that. So, yeah, that's it for this one. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.